Well, good morning and welcome, business mathematics students. This is Mr. Doucette. This is a welcome video for our business mathematics course, Business 20 here at Norco College, spring 2025. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to introduce myself and to introduce you to our class, as well as to show you how to navigate it and to complete assignments, things like that. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And hi, Eric Doucette, been teaching at Norco College since 2016. I've been full-time since 2020, and I'm recently tenured last year. So business communications and business math happen to be the two predominant classes that I teach, although I also do teach business, introduction to business and marketing and all these other classes. But lately I've been just doing a lot of business communications and business math. So just want to welcome you to my class. This is a fun class. I know that many of you are intimidated by math, and I hope most students tell me when they're done with my class that they really enjoyed it, and all the intimidation that they had at the beginning was instantly gone once they started working through some of the assignments. Business math is really basic math. You can use algebra to solve it, but it's really just basic math. And using it in a little bit different way, and that's really where the challenge comes in. Is it's not so much that you don't know how to do the math, it's you don't know what mathematical process to apply, and that's where it can become a little challenging. So hopefully we'll be able to navigate and overcome some of those obstacles and maybe a little bit of that fear as we get into the course. But the first thing I want to do is, number one, show you how to log into Canvas if you've never done that, and number two, show you how to navigate our class once you get into it in Canvas. And then number three, go over some of the assignments that you'll need to be working on for week number one. So first off, how do you get into Canvas? Well, if you come to the Norco College homepage and you just click quick links over here to the right, the second item down is Canvas. And so it's basically, you got to log into it. It's going to ask you if you want to log in. And in my case, I believe, so yeah, here it is. So if I look at I put in my email address for my username, and then my password is one that I've created. But if you're logging in for the first time, your password is going to be your birth date. Your birth date. So it should be the 2 days of the month, the 2 days of the day, and then the 4 digits of your year. And that should be the password and that you use with your email address. Mine's all automatic. Once you get yours set up, yours will be as well. So I couldn't even tell you what mine are. So anyway, I also have a double verification, so I'm going to go ahead and do that to log me in, and you can set yours up to do the same thing if you'd like. And that then brings me into my Canvas dashboard. It lists all of my courses for this particular semester, and then I will select our class, which is Business 20 right here. It's the second one second one in my list. So I'm going to select that, and that brings us to our Canvas homepage. And as you can see, I've created a little table on the homepage that allows you to navigate. All of those buttons are clickable, and they'll bring you to different places that you need to go in the course in Canvas. So I'm going to explain them to you first. First off, it's the Start Here button. We'll come back to that, but that's where you're going to want to go if this is your first time coming to the course. Below that are the syllabus button to the left. So always I'll have the latest version of the syllabus attached to that button. If you click it, it'll open the syllabus. If you want to, you can download it once you open it. Next to that are the 4 modules. Even though this is an 8-week class, each module is 2 weeks long, so it's broken into 4 modules. There are 2 exams, one at the end of module 2, and then your final at the end of module 4. And I'll go over some of those assignments with you in a minute. As we look at the modules, the bottom left is a Cengage link. This is how you access and register for the textbook. And yes, you will definitely need a textbook for this class, but you do not need any access codes. You're not going to go to any other website. You're going to do everything right here in Canvas. All the quizzes, all the exams, all the discussion posts, all the things we do are all done right here in Canvas, including videos and things like that. So you don't need to go anywhere else, but you do need a textbook. Now, the textbook that I'm recommending is, I think it's Consumer Mathematics by Bircher and Bircher, or something like that, or Beachman and Berger. And it's either the 8th or 9th edition. I used to use the 8th edition. They made me switch to the 9th. A lot of the classes still utilizing the 8th edition. So that's not going to matter because the questions are questions out of math. But if you get the 9th edition or the 8th edition, it doesn't matter. Get one of those 2 editions and you're going to be good. Good news is, however, I do have the 9th edition linked right here as an ebook. It does cost about $60. So if you don't want to get a hard copy of the 8th or 9th edition, you can also just click this Cengage link. It'll bring you through the process of paying and registering for the book. And then you can access that ebook anytime you click that link. So you can click this link here, and I'll show you in a few moments a few other links that you can use to get to the book. Next to that are some course videos. So I do a lot of videos. I have done a lot of videos in the past. Some of them are really bad quality, and I apologize. A couple of them, I lost my stylus pen, so I'm using my finger to draw it out, and I never replaced those yet, which I do need to go through all of these and replace them. Are probably about 3 years old, but I do work out problems from the chapter, problems from the check-in assignments on all of these, and I pretty much have everything covered. And this is going to be also available to you in the study pages I've created for each week. And these are pretty much the same videos, but I do have them labeled. Some of them are newer than others. So if you're having any struggle, come to my videos and see if they're any help to you. Also, I have YouTube links to other videos online. But that is the videos. Then there's a help button here that has my contact information, my cell number, which is the best way to get a hold of me, but also it has my email address. It also has the help desk information, so if you need to email or call them. It also has Canvas information, so if you have any technical problems, any course questions, all of it's at your fingertips right there under the help button, and it'll get you what you need to get, at least get you who you need to get to. Next to that is a course description, just describing what business mathematics is about. There's also a schedule in there of the entire session, all the weeks and what we'll be working on. And then to the right of that is our office hours link. And this is if you want to meet with me on campus, or if you want to meet with me during Zoom. I meet on Thursdays 10 to 11 in Zoom, and that's a great time. If you just want to go over some of the math problems for that week, I'd be happy to do that. Just join me in that Zoom. And then we also, again, you can meet me in my office hours. I'm physically on campus, so you can come meet with me then, and we can work out some math problems together if you'd like. But those are your available ways in which to get a hold of me. And of course, I've worked out problems via email and text 100 times already. So if you have a question that you don't have an answer to and you want some help, send me the question. Just make sure you send me the question or tell me where to find it, and that'll help me to be able to help you. All right, so that's pretty much the table. As far as the Start Here button, that's where we're going to go next. So let's just say you're logging in for the first time and you want to get started in the class. Well, here is a little welcome by me, kind of explaining what the class is all about and how it applies to your life and to business. It describes that it's an online class. It tells you what book to get. That's what the cover should look like. Again, you can register for the book by clicking this link. The ebook costs about $50-$60. Here's some tips on navigating the class on a phone or a tablet. Sometimes I'm showing everything from a computer's perspective, but if you're on a tablet or a phone, it's a little different. So there's some tips on that. Make sure you read that to be able to get you back to the home screen. And then as far as getting started, just read the syllabus. Make sure you understand it and that you fully comprehend the assignments and all that's required. There's a welcome video that you're watching now that you should watch. Then there's a pre-test, just to let me know what you know already about business mathematics. So don't feel like you have to do well on it. Just do your best. It's 10 questions and it's automatically 10 extra credit points, regardless of how you do. And then there's a mandatory check-in assignment. Now you must do this right away by the first week. That date is wrong. It should be the 23rd, but I'll fix that. But this is where you're going to change. You're going to basically do that mandatory check-in assignment right away, right when you get into class, but do it before the first Sunday night or else you may be dropped from the class. We have a lot of robo signups. We have a lot of false and fraudulent signups, and we want to get rid of those as quickly as we can. We've already vetted a lot of them, but some of them still make it through. And so if you're a real student, you want to prove that you're a real student by doing the check-in assignment right away to avoid being dropped at the end of the first week. Here's another link to the textbook. Here's where I describe the textbook's title. And I also have a link to Amazon as well as the Norco bookstore. You can put in this class and you can search for the exact book for this course. And then again, there's also the schedule down here of everything that you're going to be doing in this course. So So that's pretty much it for the welcome page and the start here. And then when you're ready to get started, you can just click module number 1, and that'll bring you to getting started in the class. Same thing as clicking the red circle number 1 on the front home page. So right away, there is a return to home page at the top. If you ever get lost, there is some Canvas helps. And then here is a link to the ebook as well. So once you've registered for the ebook, you can register by clicking that, or once you've registered, you can click that to access the book. And then we get into week number 1. Now, all of my weeks are laid out exactly the same in Canvas, and there's some README sections, and then there's some study sections, and then there's the actual coursework section. So the first one is README first. So you must mark all of these as done. So you have to open them, you have to read them, and then there's a little mark as done button at the bottom. If you don't do that first, you'll not be able to access any of the coursework later on. So please mark those as done. There's a study page. So this first week, you're going to have a welcome video that you're watching now. There's a little thing on here on how to prepare to successfully complete your coursework. There's a README first, which explains the big picture of business math. And then there's a Meet Sienna. Meet Sienna is what this whole class is built around, is a health and fitness business that Sienna runs. And it's a shop that sells supplements and weights and weight belts and powder proteins, all that kind of stuff. So you're going to be introduced to Sienna and told a little bit about her business and her employees. Then for week number 1, you have 3 chapters to cover, and they're all simple ones. They're really more review. So chapter 3 is on decimals, chapter 4 is on checking accounts, and chapter 5 is on the only math algebra that we use really in this class. Now, every chapter has algebraic formulas that you can use. I frown on you using them only because most students don't get them right, and they end up getting the wrong answer. So it's better to use the tables that are provided and the steps and processes for solving these problems rather than the formula, because even the formula, you got to know enough of all the rest in order to even use it. So I kind of shy away from the formula. I won't give you any solutions using the formulas. So if you want to go that route, you're welcome to, but I highly advise you to just stick with the basics. This is really basic math. But chapter 5 does get into a little bit of, solving for the unknown and isolating your X or isolating your Y, but it's only a single X or a single Y or a single V or whatever variable you use to identify a certain thing. But that's it. But make sure you do these study pages. Now, each study page is laid out the same way, and that is where if you click that, you have what areas of the textbook you should review to prepare. And there's a video of me working out some of the problems from those chapters. There's some optional questions you can also do. There's some YouTube videos. There's a PowerPoint from the chapter. So there's a lot of resources available to you to get the concepts of that chapter. And if you just worked through this, took 2 hours, and you worked through this for each concept, you'll probably pretty much have it by the end, and you're ready to do the problems. I think most students skip this, and then they're trying to figure it out, and they're not doing very well. So every week is laid out exactly the same. You have a README first section, you have a study section with the chapters that we're going to be studying. You also have a formula sheet starting next week for formulas that you're going to want to use on solving some of the problems. And then you have your coursework. Now, every week there's a check-in assignment, even though this first one is mandatory and it's worth 10 extra credit points. From here on out, every check-in assignment that you do is worth 12.5 points. So you don't want to skip that. And it's kind of your way of showing me that you're getting the concepts, but you get automatically 12 points just for completing it, even if you get everything wrong. It's just showing me what you're learning or not learning. And I will always, if you send me your check-in assignment by Thursday, it's mentioned that way in the assignment, I will send you all the answers to that check-in assignment before Sunday. I'll send them to you right away, usually Friday or Saturday, and then by Sunday you have all the answers to the check-in assignment, which will help you with your quiz or help you with your exam. So keep in mind the check-in assignments are really there to it's kind of a teaching opportunity. And then you have, for week number 1, you have a mandatory pre-test assessment. That's the one I talked about earlier, just to let me know what you know about business mathematics. And then you have a quiz on chapters 3 through 5. It's only 10 questions, so there's a couple of questions out of each chapter. Starting in 2 weeks, you'll only have 6 questions, but some of them will be fillable, meaning you have to actually do the work and then give me the answer. You don't have multiple choice. Some of them multiple choice, some of them not. And I'd say probably about 30% of all this class is not multiple choice. It means you have to work out the problem and give me the answer. The good news though is if you get close or you made a mistake, I'll still give you partial credit, where if it were multiple choice, you either get it or you don't, right? So that's week number 1, you have a quiz. And then the one thing I don't have here is your case study. So there is a case study every module, meaning every 2 weeks. So this is one problem that you have to work out, kind of showing that you're getting the concepts of that chapter. And many of these case studies actually incorporate multiple pieces of that module's concepts together in solving one problem. That is worth 25 points, and it's due, you have 2 weeks to do it. So even though it starts this week, you actually have until the following Sunday night to complete that. So don't neglect it, do it as soon as you can. And sometimes I grade them early, sometimes I can't, just depending on my schedule. But if I do grade them early, you give you a chance to fix it and get a higher score. But either way, I'm a very easy grader for the most part. I'm not too critical. If you're on the right track, I'll give you a reasonably good score on that. But I do manually grade that, and I do manually grade many of the quiz questions, although I'm starting to convert to more all multiple choice, just because it's becoming a lot to grade a lot of math problems. But that's it for week number 1. That's it for the introduction to our course. If you have any concerns or questions or issues, please don't hesitate to reach out to me either during my office hours or via text or email. But if not, so if you need anything, get a hold of me. If not, have a great week, great first week. Please watch the videos. Please read my comments that I give you on your work, and I promise you that you'll not find math as painful maybe as you have